attention. Pay attention. All military spectators, pay attention. I'm Chief Motorbike, the DOT ceremonial warrant officer. Just want to address one thing. It will be the last time SNDF members coming to SNDF event, ceremonial event, wrongly dressed. The dress for this event, this is a kind of an parade. You may not have a kind of an parade dressed in wheelchairs. The dress for our SNDF parade is dress one, for people there, the toilet, and the chaplains, and the announcers. The rest of us spectators dress is one thing. It will be like that going forward. I will deploy MPs to take you out of the venue. Thank you.
We are about to start with the Fan Park Arena demonstration. Please, those that want to see the beauty of the Defense Force, please be seated or remain seated as it is about to go down. Now, the traditional dance will be taking over to entertain us. And I hope everybody will give them a round of applause as they are taking the stand to make us know the traditions of Venda. Halala Armed Forces Day 2026. Halala! Halala Toyando, halala! It is about to happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to enter the arena. Can my selector, my DJ, give us something nice for our incredible audience? Can I hear you scream? Thank you, my DJ.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Joga! ḓiṱongisa ngazwo hezwi.
ba re dinaka di betha fela e kgoši e le gona ga o sena kgoši a ba e tsene e le go tlhompha le go bontšha lerato go kgoši ya bona ka Sepedi re di bitša dinaka.
Ndi tshikona.
Ba re Bavenda ge ba thabile ba diile meqombothi go le monate tshikona di ba busy.
Hafha hu vho takaliwa hu khou pembeliwa zwi tshi khou takadza. Ka vha ḓo pfa murumba vhone.
Ene ke a bona ke batho ba bagolo batho ba bannyane bo mma le bo papa ga e kgethe.
A ri khethi shaka loṱhe muṅwe na muṅwe o ṱanganedziwa tshina tshikona. Kezwo ka vha ḓo pfa ṋanga dza hone dzi tou sielisana. Nga tshikhuwa vha ri ndi music director honolo ambaro tshitsuku. Gare ba sheba le matsogo.
A re betheleng tshikona tša Tšhaulu matsogo. We can do better than that.
Woohoo!
Vha tshikona vho fhedza zwa zwino hu khou ḓo dzhena tshigombela tsha vhurivhuri. Ri khou livhuwa tshikona tsha Tšhaulu hezwi zwi ri ita vhathu.
Are ba appreciating ka matsogo ba feel empowered. Chikona cha chaulu. As we welcome the next traditional dance. Are ba bethele matsogo ba sa tsena. Presentation of the most beautiful women coming at Semihulu to prevent themselves from waska bethagele tjatji. Ba re ba bitša Chigombela ke nana ka segaborena sepedi ke koša ya dikhuru.
One, two.
Re ithuta ka setšo sa Venda le go tseba meetlo ya bona le go kwešiša tshepedišo ya tša ka mošate. Yepi koša a ntšhi e diriwaneng o ba ge o diragalang.
Hetshi ndi Chigombela tshi vha tsho imela shango ri tshi khou takadza lushaka. Misanda ndi une vha tshina hone vha tshi tshinela vhathu vhavho avho.
Ba re ye go e bina fela ke basadi. That's why ke bitša koša ya dikhuru tshwana le ko gaborena. Re na le ya basadi fela re bitša koša ya dikhuru ba tla o binela wa kwa bose.
Indigenous to this very soil, right here in Venda.
Ay, 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 ay,
Shoo! Mifululu! Mifululu! Kezo! Nazo zindi precision lezo.
Re gopola gore ge ba fetša go bina re thoma ka our arena.
Mifululu kebo! Baswa kudani na veiwe machelo ni joine.
Ba re motho ge a ka latlhegelwa ke setšo sa gage namile o latlhegetše ke bophelo.
Oba wogela wa rata zwa hao oba wogela na musi wa phumela hani wo hangwa zwa hao muthu. Yeso. The precision as is too deep. Freestyling. Mifururu Zonda.
Wherever you are, the Fan Park Arena is starting.
Ote une baba hone bafa bomo ichikolira bazidibori ndione arena yotoma batu basongo shaba basongo chuwa ndikuitele kwasho.
Okay, so it's like a precision drill. They're moving like a precision drill. If I were you, I would make it back to the grandstand.
Kebo bakorumelisa, marks of respect. Mifururu.
Yenda.
Karelu verote nga mifururu. Nazikombole. ri khou livhuwa Tshigombela. Hezwi ndi zwavhuḓi.
Hari ba bethele matsoho e le gore leboa their wonderful play.
Woo!
Traditional dance. Diumbela khombori la pariti chovito. Ang diumbela khombori la pariti chovito.
Jovito!
E le gore ba leboga for such an amazing and splendid work. Ka sepedi re bitša koša ya dikhuru ka Tshivenda ba re ke Tshigombela. Re amogela ba bangwe, they are about to come go tlo re bontšha bokgoni ba bona ba traditional dance. Re gopoleng re mo Venda ba re bontšha setšo sa bona le bobotse ba dilo tša bona. Re tshwanetse re ba tlhomphe, re tsebe gore na re nageng ya mohuta mang. Tlhogo ya ndou ibethela matsoho wherever you are. Clap hands for yourself. Director ya rena e re botša gore we are there.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make it back to our grandstand so we can enjoy the Fan Park Arena. We have an exciting program for you, so can you please make it back to the grandstand?
Good day, Commando. Good day, South Africa. Good day, future leaders. Welcome to the Armed Forces Arena Program 2026, coming straight to you live from Thohoyandou Stadium. We're excited, we're ready, and today we're bringing you the very best of the South African National Defence Force. We are your announcers for today, and we're bringing you energy, information, and excellence from start to finish. I'm Lieutenant Malihlangane Mia, better known as Miss Mia. However, ladies and gentlemen, I am not alone. I'm with our hype man, Corporal Cholo, aka Brother Martin Chosen.
Yes.
Also with the ever energetic Private ADS Vilagazi, popularly known as Austin Gray. Austin Gray, please take over and tell us what the arena program brings us today.
Thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Private ADS Vilagazi, but for this program you can call me Austin Gray. I'm so excited. 2 weeks ago we had a very successful mini career expo in Tabani Mall, leading to this beautiful Fan Park Arena. We have an exciting program for you. We're going to have demonstrations from hand to hand from 3 South African Infantry Battalion, as well as a precision drill from 15 South African Infantry Battalion, as well as the Technical Service Corps, the South African Army's specialized infantry capability. I'm very excited for that, as well as the South African Navy sword drill, the South African Navy precision drill, as well as the South African Navy gun run. And then the last one will be the martial arts. We've been here since the beginning of the month. A lot of programs have happened, but Brother Charles is going to take us through a little bit of a gig guide for the rest of the month. Thank you.
Batho ba gesho ba Venda ba botse ndi macheloni. Halala Armed Forces Day 2026. Halala.
What?
Maabane ga se galela ka di 15 be re na le interfaith service e bile successful. He re tumisha modimo re motša re wa halalela ka di 18 tša February. We are lacing up for the 5-kilometer run and walk go tlo ba go kitimiwa. It's Wednesday. Re gopela le tla kaofela gona mo Thohoyandou Stadium ka di 21st of February. Letšatši la mannete re bolla ka Armed Forces Day, and le gopola gore His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa Force will be addressing the parade on Nagopunda Maria Road opposite Tavane Mall. Re a kgopela batho kaofela hore le tle le tlo bona dilo tse di botse ga di diragala. Right now I'm going to be giving over to Battle Noise Simulation. Le go bola batho ba botse hore bomo e tla be e thunya ene yewe ke tsela ya segala ya rena batho ba South African National Defence Force re thomandilo ka moka. Overall in charge ke Major Mutibane, the one who's going to be giving us a shot ke Warrant Officer Class 1 Magawane. If you are sensitive to explosions, please put on your earplugs, because what we are about to experience is the greatest explosion you ever got to see. Remember, it is Ammunition Corps in conjunction with Engineering Formation. Over to you, Betsim, in 10,
9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very exciting program for you from 3 South African Infantry Battalion. Gare Shapeleng Matsogo for 3 South African Infantry Battalion. Hand to hand combat. Gare Shapeleng Matsogo.
Mike. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to give you a hand-to-hand combat techniques demonstration. I'm Miss Mia. As mentioned before, I'll be driving the ship together with Private Molale.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Standing here in front of you is Private BP Mulale from 3 South African Infantry Battalion, home of Griffins, where we conquer.
We bid you a warm and enthusiastic welcome to our hand-to-hand combat techniques demonstration, an essential capability that contributes directly to the personal discipline, confidence, and professional readiness of every soldier. Hand-to-hand combat is drawn from various recognized martial arts and combat systems. It has been carefully developed to assist soldiers, by extension, civilians like you, my beautiful audience, in situations where close contact is unavoidable, whether during operational duties or everyday self-defense scenarios.
This combat equips a soldier to neutralize and intervene very swiftly using minimum force while achieving maximum effect, especially in the high pressure and life-threatening situations where there is no time to hesitate. We will now invite our fighters to have a demonstration selection of practical techniques that may be executed during emergencies, when a soldier is required to react decisively to protect life both at their own and of others. Fighters ready!
Go Griffins! Ladies and gentlemen, during this demonstration, you will observe techniques designed to address different forms of aggression and levels of threat.
The first technique that will be executed by the strikers is known as the strikes.
The strikes, ladies and gentlemen, is controlled offensive actions aimed at creating space and stopping an attack. Let me repeat that. Strikes are described as controlled offensive actions aimed at creating space and stopping attacks.
Striking usually transforms the community members from potential victims into active, confident participants in their own security. When people knows how to defend themselves, they are better off equipped to handle dangerous situations and unexpected situations as well. The following technique that will be executed by the fighters is known as the kicks.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kicks are described as used to maintain distance and disrupt an aggressor's balance.
Kicks, ready, ready.
Kicking usually requires one to stand on one leg while moving the other. This acts as a fun exercise in order to improve your balance, coordination, as well as body awareness. The following technique that will be executed by the strikers is known as the single lapel.
The single lapel, ladies and gentlemen, is responses to one-handed frontal grabs. The single lapel control is responses to one-handed frontal grabs.
You think I'm done with you? You think I'm done with you, Aki? Yes! Don't give! Give!
Lethal, I tell you.
The following technique that will be executed by the fighters is known as the double lapel.
Ladies and gentlemen, the double lapel is described as techniques to break free from two-handed holds. Two-handed holds.
Don't listen you! Let me fight you! Hit! 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 Hit!
The following technique that will be executed by the strikers is known as the pendulum in combination with the combat break fall.
Pendulum movement is evasive footwork to avoid direct confrontation.
Additional to that, combat break fall usually enables you to counterfall when you are being thrown down by an attacker and you'll ultimately need to survive.
Essentially, evasive footwork to avoid direct confrontation. What?
The technique that follows that will be executed by the strikers is known as the double leg takedown.
The double leg takedown defense is described as conquering attempts to force a person to the ground.
Where do you come from, you?
Double leg takedown assists one to take the opponent down with using both legs.
Sorry, what? Do I look like Jesus to you? No. Hey, don't take chances, you. Hey. Come here. Hey. Don't be mad at me. What do you want to? What do you want to? Hey. What? Hey.
Lethal? Lethal.
Hit. Hit.
The following technique that will be executed by the strikers is known as the pistol from behind.
Pistol threat from behind is response measured when confronted from the rear meaning the back, of course.
Re phela re gopola gore it is to defend yourself, not to attack people. And ye e diragala gantši ge batho ba o fitlhetše ba nyaka go tšeela tša gago, then you can be able to protect yourself.
I don't have much. It's insufficient five there. Hey, insufficient five. Sorry.
The following technique that will be executed by the strikers is known as the pistol from the front.
And just like that, the pistol from the back, now it's pistol from the front. It's described as managing frontal firearm intimidation. Let me say that again. Pistol threat from the front is managing frontal firearm intimidation.
I don't have a phone. I do not have a phone. Take that. Stand around, John. Stand around. Like it is. I have it. Go. Move.
Watch closely.
The following technique that will be executed by the strikers is known as multiple attackers.
The multiple attackers, ladies and gentlemen, it's awareness and movement strategies to escape surrounding threats. Have the girl power. Girl power. Look at what she does. Yes, girl.
The following technique that will be executed by the strikers is known as the knife fighting.
The knife threat awareness is defensive responses to edged weapon situations.
What are you doing, you Toti? Don't take chances, you. Yeah, watch, because sometimes it's balancing. Yeah, be catch up for this Toti. Yeah.
Kanjalo nje.
Three-side battalion.
The technique that follows is known as the bear hug from the back.
Yeah. Let's do.
This is the sexual assault scenario. It's defensive reactions focused on survival and escape.
Yeah. What do you want?
While we watch this beautiful demonstration, can the registration BMG 714M Kia, it's a white Kia, it is blocking the road. Can you please assist us by moving the vehicle? There is BMG 714M. Thank you.
The following technique that will be executed by the strikers is known as the bear hug from the front.
Let's do.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take note that these techniques are demonstrated strictly for awareness and training purposes, highlighting preparedness, discipline, and situational control. Do not try this at home.
Last but not least, the last scenario that will be executed by the strikers is known as the rape scenario.
The rape scenario, otherwise known as a sexual assault scenario. It's defensive reactions focused on survival and escape.
Take note that during this scenario, you'll be taught as women and children as to how to strike the groin of the opponent, poke out the eyes in order for you to gain control. These things that we encounter on a daily basis, so us as hand-to-hand, we teach women and children as to how to defend yourself no matter the situation.
Re tlhotlheletsa basadi gore ba be le bokgoni ba tsebe gore ge ba kopana le maemo a mofuta o ba kgone go itshireletša.
In closing, we are prepared at all times to put techniques into practice because it's influenced by the nature of soldiering. This often happens in operational circumstances, and you will be required to apply your knowledge of hand-to-hand combat during self-defense situations.
Ladies and gentlemen, as soldiers, we are trained to be prepared at all times. Hand-to-hand combat remains a vital skill because it is shaped by the realities of soldiering where situations unfold rapidly and unpredictably. Through continuous training, discipline, and readiness, we ensure that when such moments arise, we are capable of responding calmly, decisively, and evasively. Thank you for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 South African Infantry Battalion representing the South African Army. But the whole South African National Defense Force is here, which is the SA Army, the South African Air Force, the South African Navy, and the South African Military Health Services. Brother Charles, can you take me through what do these different arms of services mean?
Eshirle basic training re betha dikoša tša monate o ta kwa re tsena re ho la la army la la arm ho la la army ho la le thateng ho la la army la la arm ho la la army ho la le thateng oh la la air force la la air ho la la air force ho la le moye ho la la air force la la air ho la la air force ho la le moye Oh la la Navy, oh la la Navy, oh la la Manzi, oh la la Navy, oh la la Navy, oh la la Manzi, oh la la Samsi, la Sams, oh la la Sam, when I la la Sipe, oh la la Samsi, la Sams, oh la la Samsi. Oh la la sick bay. Oh la 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 la. Oh la for money mash. Oh la 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 la. Oh la for money mash. Munga mutu manga bamangu is about to join. Utanjatsi worki ka mukhori pa morale ka ona. Ile ngadi buya bari 3.
Thank you so much, Brother Charles. That was the South African National Defence Force and the South African Army represented a beautiful demonstration of hand-to-hand combat. Remember, the South African National Defence Force says no to GBV. Can I say no to GBV?
No, hell no to GBV.
If you want to catch us on our social media platforms, you will find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as the TikTok at SA National Defence Force.
Even lemo YouTube SA Defense News.
So what you just saw right now was a hand-to-hand combat techniques. We were fighting, so now we're about to celebrate through ceremonial exhibition. So can we please give a warm round of applause for 15 South African Infantry Battalion! Mr. Jama, Mr. Jama. Yay. This is the 15th South African Infantry Battalion representing Limpopo, Venda, right hand, the home ground from Fuani. Let's give them a round of applause. This, ladies and gentlemen, what you're seeing is called precision drill. This is precision drill, moving together under command. Look at them moving as one coordination.
Tapelo e tlabile re thoma ka go rapela before re thoma ka drill ya rena o ba lebelele ba rapela ba iša tlhogo fase ba iša godimo e le ge ba bontšha gore modimo re ya o mema ke thapelo nthoela ngwana.
If I was you, I was gonna take out my phone or ke kgone go lebelela this beautiful moment. So one day Lena can be like this. Look
at that precision. Look at that work in unison. Look at them go. What's that? 55.
They are representing the South African Army, the pride of lions that we trained before. This is called slow march.
This can be you one day. Watch them closely.
Remember, they're under the command of Corporal Mudau.
15 years experience ya Corporal Mutau. And over at 15 side.
15 to 15. The weapon they're handling
tlohele wa ba drila le wena o ka ba o mongwe wa bona.
Just take the first step and it can be definitely you.
One day this can be you.
Hey! Woohoo!
This is the South African Army. 15th South African Infantry Battalion. Precision Drill Squad. This takes a lot of hours to perfect. Shout out to Cobra Madau for your tireless efforts to ensure that we have a beautiful representation for our future leaders.
Bokgoni ba Corporal Modau wa bontšha gore infantry school e kgona go create the creators.
This is the South African Army Infantry Corps. The Landward Forces, your boot is your transport. Shout out to Mr. Drama, shout out to Mr. Drama. Both men and women in uniform representing the South African National Defence Force.
And re gopola gore ga e kgethe o mosadi o monna o amogelegile.
Paying compliments to our principals that are present.
Check that mark time. Damn. Re umbela khombori la phaleti jovito.
If I was you, I was gonna prepare my phone. Something beautiful is about to happen. The applications are open. Today you can apply, then one day this can be you. Position, position.
Ke re bolla ka mashole. sepela kaofela, re sepela bo botlhe. Aibo. Tjena we. Ai. Mashallah we. Ai. Are tsentsha monate in the middle of it.
You know how to have fun in South Africa.
Work hard and play hard.
Ba bethele matsoho wa kela, ba bethele matsoho wa kela, ba bethele matsoho.
Go 15 side.
Ba re ntho mnate ya phindwa. Ba re ntho mnate ya phindwa. Ntho mnate ya phindwa.
Just a game.
If I was you, I was gonna go buy a black pen and make sure that I fly in the South African National Defense Force. Tell your friends, what do you want on National Defense Force?
Ba bethele matsoho re ba sajwa e le re amogela TSC Technical Service Corps e le re ba tšea stage or our arena. Le tla e bona koloi ya rena ya mabaibai e tsena. Technical Service Corps.
Right, let's give 15 side another round of applause.
Go 15 side.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now we are going to show you the capabilities that we have in the South African Army from the Technical Service Corps. The Technical Service Corps, ladies and gentlemen, you can see on the left side of the arena comes in a military D vehicle. Now, can I please get your attention? Can everybody take their iPhones? Everybody take their iPhones and let's start a stopwatch. Corporal Charles is telling me that Technical Service Corps is going to strip and assemble this military vehicle in under 10 minutes. Am I wrong?
Yes sir, yes sir. Ka fase ya metsotso fela e le some koloi ye ba tlo e tlhatlhamolla ba ba e bušetša sekeng so re gopela batho ba e leng gore ba tshwere di-watch ba dintšhe ba di synchronize ba kgone go bona bokgoni ba rena ba Technical Service Corps. Re gopela gore Project Thusano ka 2020 Chief of the South African Army Lieutenant General Lawrence Khulekane Mbatha o ile a e dira gore e bulwe ya thoma go lokiša dikoloi ka moka tše bedi wele. And from now on re a tseba gore Technical Service Corps together with the Cubans ba netefatša gore prime mission equipment is always on par. Ka di 21 tša February re gopela ka mata gore eta le to di bona koloi tša bona tša mabaibai tše ba di lokišitšeng. Right now re ba re thoma taba ya bona ge o tshwere stopwatch ka gopelo tswetswe se sete re tle re be show ya gore ba kgonne go idia under 10 minutes.
Right, sir. Can I please get a countdown from 10,
9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go! As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, they have moved the bonnet from the military vehicle. They are working together to move the body. Go, 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 go. Technical Service Corps.
Re gopela gore ga ona wa sa direng selo motho mang kapa mang o na le se a se dirang go bontšha tšhomišano mo South African National Defence Force. You never leak your mic behind. Re a swarišana re a thušana ka gore sepedi se re bobedi bo bolaya noga.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, they've moved the front wheels from the chassis. I want to see if they're going to be able to have teamwork enough to build or pick up the engine. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that team. Precision, accuracy, and teamwork.
Re gopola gore ka Project Thusano 100 members that were dead were resurrected. Ane jalo o ka se dia selo ka prime mission equipment. Di deployment tša rena di mission tša rena ka moka di sepela ka geleke.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. If you can look on the outskirts of the Toyando Stadium, there's the PMEs, the Prime Mission Equipment. The Technical Service Corps ensures that the vehicles are serviceable and sustainable for operations. Look, they have successfully stripped the military D vehicle.
So far, it's only been a minute and 18 seconds.
How long is that?
1 minute and 22 seconds.
Do you
now.
think they'll be able to make it under 10
Most
minutes?
definitely. I believe in them.
Let's see. As you can see, they are reattaching the wheels onto their axles. Ladies and gentlemen, this also happens in operational areas. We work and we train as we fight. What you're seeing is something that happens in real life, and one day that could be you. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, they are working together. Time now is 1 minute 44 seconds. Remember, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. They're supposed to do this under 10 minutes.
nagana fela ba itlhatlhamolotše ka motsotso le metsotswana fela ye 25.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Technical Service Corps, working in unison, working as a team, ensuring that our vehicles are serviceable and that we're able to cross rivers, we're able to cross all kinds of things, knowing that they are there and ensuring that South Africans are protected at all times.
ene re bereka le dinaga mabapi cuba ke nngwe ya tsona tše e leng re berekišana le tsona o netefatša gore koloi tša rena a di sepela ga monate.
On the 21st of February, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa is going to have his main parade, and you guys are going to see such vehicles marching as well, marching past. That serviceability that you see, the beautiful serviceability that you see, is from the Technical Service Corps. They have now attached the rear wheels onto the chassis. I want to see, ladies and gentlemen, we only stop our watches when the car starts. What time are we on, Miss Mia?
We're on 3 minutes. Exactly 3 minutes.
ka metsotso e meraro fela re sa le mo yona ene ke a dumela gore ba tla ba feditše le gopole ba tshwantše ba idie ka fase ya metsotso e 10 fela.
Just 10.
ene re gopela gore project thusano a e fela mo South African Army e sepetšana le all 4 arms of services. ba bušeditše mmele ba bušetša ponete ene re gopola gore re thoma nako tša rena fela e koloi e ka starta a kere mechanic ya se o e bušetša ke o dira gore koloi e tshwantše e sepele gape.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
3 minutes and 43 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we wait, is it going to start?
Let's give them a round of applause. Ha re ba bethela matsogo.
That was the Technical Service Corps as they pass by. Can they give us a wave? Can they give us a wave, ladies and gentlemen?
Ha re ba
The
bethele
Technical
matsogo, ha re ba
Service
bethele
Corps.
matsogo, ha re ba bethele matsogo.
They were able to strip and assemble this military vehicle in under 10 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes 53. This is beautiful. 53 seconds. Can you imagine?
Ka metsotso e meraro le metsotswana e 13.
Toyando, tell your friends and tell your friends' friends that you were chilling with the South African National Defense Force.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ha re ba bethele matsogo as we appreciate them.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you are witnessing right now, you are going to witness speed, mobility, precision of the motorbike capability from the South African Army, specialized infantry capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to see is a rapid response group that help us on the borders of South Africa. We are going to show you guys that yes, we do have specialized infantry capabilities.
Ke mosadi motho la ke mmona mola vila ka se ka rona le mosadi ka ra bona
Miss Mia,
o ka rona le
is that a
mosadi
female?
ka ra bona man.
Yeah, girl
Ke re nyaka
power.
re
Go
kgonthišiše.
girl!
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, under the leadership of Sergeant J.L. Mabalani, he's going to show us what happens in operational area. So right now, we are going to go under an operational simulation, meaning we're going to pretend as though we have entered a operational deployment. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander says, yes, we can move. This is called the single jump. Woo! The commander has noticed through reconnaissance that we needed to move in single
bro.
file formation. Khariba Shapele Matsogo as they jump the ramp, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting information from my sergeant that actually there is 2 females representing the men and women of the South African National Defence Force. The commander says, no, we need more reconnaissance where we are going. We need to gain information as he gives a green light for the single jump. This is called the single jump, the South African Army Specialized Infantry Capability. The motorbikes that you are seeing right now and the infanteers operating them operate on the borders of our country through the deployment of Operation Corona, where they help with confiscating all contrabands and drugs. They help us with locating the hijacked vehicles at our borders. Ladies and gentlemen, they help us a lot with protecting our borders. Is it a double jump? So the commander has noticed that we have a little bit of a broader pathway. So the commander says we are going to go for a triple jump. We are going to go for a triple jump, and they're going to make this jump at the same time.
Soft landing.
Amazing stuff. And remember, gona le mosadi ka ra bona. Le lena basadi le ska inyacha, monyetla o gona gore le be mashole.
This is the SASIC. They have 4 capabilities, specialized capabilities. It's the equestrian, which is Kitty Bear, as well as the motorbikes that you see right now, as well as the K9 capability and tracking. One day, this could be you as well. The commander has noticed that our own forces have been compromised. The enemy now knows that, oh, okay, they're coming from the east. So through the appreciation of the sergeant on the ground, the commander, he's saying, no, we need to confuse the enemy because we are a South African National Defence Force that also uses our strategic brilliance. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are going to experience right now is called the cross jump. The cross jump, this is used to confuse enemies. The enemy will not know where the sound is coming from. So the commander has made a beautiful representation. He's given the green light that we can now confuse the enemy and come from all directions in order to smash our objectives. Will they be able to make it, ladies and gentlemen? SASIC, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey. Woo.
Beautiful, beautiful representation of a specialized capability. Remember, these are not stunt riders. They are trained soldiers of the South African Army.
And re gopola gore o tshwantse o rutwe a se ntwe le ro ka no eleka go gae anytime. You must be able to be given a course.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander has noticed that the terrain is getting a little bit more tricky. So because we are specialized, we go through a very vigorous and robust training program in the South African Army Specialized Infantry Capability to ensure that we can be able to go through any type of terrain. Remember, the terrains could be dusty, they could be muddy, they also could be bushy as well, and sometimes the terrain could be in highland areas. So the commander has taken appreciation because he has noticed that in order for us to attack the enemy, we need to push further. So what you are going to experience now is called the high jump. This is called the high jump.
Re gopola gore ba tswa Potchefstroom, South African Army Infantry Specialized Capabilities.
Will you be able to make the high jump, also known as the nutcracker? Ladies and gentlemen, ushabele matsogo. What a beautiful, beautiful representation. The commander has noticed that the main man, the first man, was able to go through the trench that was there. Remember, we are in a simulation, so we are going to simulate a trench. A trench is like a hole. What is a hole in Venda?
A ke tseba ka Sepedi ke molete. Ba re ke ndindi ka Tshivenda, ndindi.
It's on. Thank you so much for the reps. The commander is giving the green light here. Let's have some fun for our audience. Let's rev the engine. Will he be able to make the high jump, also known as the nutcracker? Bike
Full
number
stop.
2 has made it. Bike number 2 has made it. Beautiful, beautiful revving from the motorbike infanteers. They are noticing, hey, they are adding 2 motorbikes. Will they be able to make the jump? This is incredible. And the commander is saying, yes, we can. Can you please rev for me? Vroom, 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 vroom. Will you be able to make it at the Nutcracker?
Chesawan! What an excellent jump!
You can see that the terrain is getting more tricky and tricky, but one thing about the South African National Defence Force is we push the limits, the limits. The commander on the ground is saying, no, even though the terrain is tricky, we can still make it. Thank you for the rev, let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, one day this could be you. Remember, we are not gender specific. Just because I'm a female, no. You can be able to make it as well. I see 1, 2, 3 bikes. Will he be able to make the jump, Haribo? Ladies and gentlemen, at the Nutcracker.
Soft landing.
What a beautiful jump!
Quite impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember we are on the ground. What you're seeing is also a simulation in real life. 1, 2, 3, 4 motorbikes. This is incredible. Will he be able to make the high jump? Ladies and gentlemen, we need such capabilities because in operational grounds, such things can happen. Thank you for the rev. Let's go.
It looks dangerous. Will he be able to do it? Will he be able?
Definitely! That's amazing!
Remember, do not try this at home. Is that a female that I'm seeing at the end? It is a female.
Definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, girl. Girl
that is the
power.
rifleman from Rhodes.
Yes, when I girl.
This is the most difficult obstacle you can ever imagine. Nobody has ever made it besides Can we get a countdown on 10, 9, 8, 7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Godobeta Tendani, I have your ID here, your ID card, and then also Rhoda Allison Rosane. Please, I have your IDs here. Don't go and do a new ID. I have yours. Please come back and get your own IDs. Godobeta Tendani and Rhoda Allison Rosane. Please come this side and get your ID.
Thank you so much to the South African Army Specialized Infantry Capability. The Army is making me so proud. I'm so proud to be a member of the South African Army, the pride of alliance, but there's still more. There's still more because the operation gets even trickier, where we need to dabble into a different capability. Taking us to the capability will be the lovely Captain Atlapula.
Alright, good afternoon! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on now to another exciting display for our arena program today. And standing by to give us this demonstration is the SASIC, South African Army Specialized Infantry Capability.
Precision.
Navy War! Navy War!
Navy Swandrine.
Swandrine War!
Swandrine wait, Swandrine wait.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here in the forefront, as you can see, there is a dog as well as a headlamp. These are men from the South African Army Specialized Infantry Capability here to show us canine. Can you see? Here he comes. This is called a line agitation. He's going to agitate the dogs and they're going to attack him. Take note that he's wearing a protective gear on his arm and showing that the highest standards of safety are adhered to. He's now irritating the dogs and the dogs are going to be able to attack him any moment from now. We're going to see him run. This is called a line agitation as we're witnessing from Sasik. All right, take note that these are well-trained dogs, ladies and gentlemen. And just like us, they have force numbers and they go through a vigorous training to ensure that they are of this standard. This is Sasik demonstrating to us. What you are seeing now, ladies and gentlemen, is called a circle agitation. It is when the dogs have now identified destabilizers and they start to surround them to ensure that they're unable to attack, and then military police is then called to come and arrest these destabilizers. It is usually used in crowd controlling situation where people who are destabilizers have been identified and these dogs are then released. What you just saw was called a circle agitation. What you're going to see next, ladies and gentlemen, will be an open circle. It is very important for them when they're training these dogs to irritate them. As you can see, they've got a whip and they also have a protective gear on their arm. The people are called the helpers. It's very important to understand also that when these dogs hold on to you, they will not let go up until the helper is the one who gives the command. So you definitely don't want to find yourself in a situation where these dogs have caught on to your body. All right. All right, can you spot the men in a protective suit? Ladies and gentlemen, the dogs are going to be able to spot this man in this suit. And as you can see, they're already getting charged, ready to attack him. There he comes, ladies and gentlemen, in a protective gear to make sure when the dogs bite him, he does not get harmed. All right, as we can see, the dogs are ready. They want to attack this man. Here he runs, ladies and gentlemen. Here goes the dog and he grabs him. And he falls to the ground. That is called a single attack from the dogs when one dog goes to attack, as you have seen right now. As I mentioned earlier on, it is used in a crowd controlling situation once the dog has spotted you. All right, that suit is very heavy, okay? It is very difficult for one to stand up by himself. It is part of the training for the South African Army Specialized Infantry capability with their canine capability. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these soldiers come all the way from Potchefstroom. It is where they are based, and this is just one of their capabilities. As you can see, here comes the dog handler again, coming to irritate the dogs. As you can see, they've already spotted the man they're going to attack. What we are doing now is called a test of courage. He wants to see that the dogs, after training, they're able to attack on their own. As you can see, each one of them is saying, pick me, pick me. At any point in time, here they go. All right, as you can see, he has spotted the handler and is attacking him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, that protective gear that is on his arm is not painful at all. It is part of training the dogs. And what you're witnessing now is called a test of courage after they've trained the dog to see if the dog is able, one, to identify a destabilizer, and then two, to be able to attack on its own. That is called a test of courage. As I mentioned to you, this is the canine capability from the South African Army Specialized Infantry capability, all the way from Potchefstroom, demonstrating to us in Thohoyandou. It is just one of their capabilities. Earlier on, you saw them, they were on the motorbikes. Now, they're showcasing their canine capability. They also have horses with their equestrian capability as well as a trekking capability. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause.
Arba betela mato to appreciate.
All right, thank you so much, Sasik, with your canine capability. Ladies and gentlemen, more action to come. I will now hand over to my amazing announcers to take us through our next demonstration. Over to you guys.
Re umbela khombori la phariti jovijo.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the South African Army. Right now, we're going to see a different arm of service to give us a beautiful representation and demonstration from the South African Navy Sword Drill Squad. But I'm not going alone. I'm going with Warrant Officer Kwinda. How are you, sir?
Ai lora ripa no thendo auna thada.
Sergeant Major Gobar, this was inherited from the Royal Navy.
Ndizone. Sodo enoni yoda panonga chikepe. Ichi England. Raijia, rai Quinipaza, raita uri rine papa na Afrika chipembe iwe yasho.
Etsi ke go bontšha gabotse gore re šomišana gabotse le dinaga mabapi.
Hote re shumana batho bote Afrika chipembe ali nambengwa.
Yes.
Kedzo nditsi officers za South African Navy ka mabudo ote ka edzi 4 arms of service.
Yes, sir.
Ndika Navy phezulu ne vha ḓo vhona dzi officer vha tshi khou ita precision drill.
Ene bona ba idia ka di sabola ka di sword.
Ba zwi nga sword.
Ke go ba di tshwara ke bona le di sergeant major fela.
Ndizone sodo dzi fariwa nga dzi officer hezwi ri kha parade.
Le ka tsela ye ba apereng ka ona ba bontšha gore ke di gentlemen ka nnete.
Ndizone ba bona na musi ndi zwitshena. Ndi ba ruma o rumi uri vha ḓe vha ite ngo rali phana.
E bonagala gabotse.
Hezwi zwo naka. Na veiwe matshudeni no dzula hanefho matshelo ni nga ḓi vhona no ambara nthihi hedzi dzi uniform ne na khou dzi vhona.
Ene re gopola gore ke renke ya lieutenant.
Ndizone ndi renke dza lieutenant vho fhambananaho vha bva gai na gai.
Ai
Kezo Kecho slow march ita so. Zwino hei sutu vho ambara hapa arali vha tshi khou nyaga u vinga vha ambara yeneyi. Ndi yone ya mutshato hei.
ke a leba. O army wedding, I mean military weddings. So ke a gona gore ke nyala ke apare di suit di tšele mosadi ya.
Izo vho ambara hei hai vha wina.
E botse ka matla.
Hafha uno hevedzana ri thetshelesa mutsindo wa drum.
Ke go ba re le gale bo lwewa fela ba e kwa moropa tšana matšatoa.
Ndizone mbidza vhupileli na kale dzo vha dzi tshi matsha nga murumu. Hezwi zwo naka hezwi zwanḓa
A re ba bethele matsogo ka tense ya bona ya sword. Re gopola gore e diwa ka di ceremonies le di parades.
ya hezwi ndi zwa musi hu tshi khou paradiwa na musi ri khou ita dzi show ri vha ri khou ita zwezwi.
And re leboga warrant officer class 2 Sikhakhane.
Ri vha nga si khakhe vha ṱhavhana nga sodo. Kha dzi ḓiramu ri na Port Officer Tops na Port Officer Williams.
Standing easy and standing still.
Officers and gentlemen, Navy yabo, navy yashu, navy yaburine. Kaba beside drama work. Kaba dog.
Re gopola gore ba ba le tšang le bona ke mašole e ra gore le mo South African Navy re a o dira gore o be motho wa mmino.
Kaba. Ah, ba jibombela bonutuwa, ba ba jidoba pocha baba.
Ke batho ba o šoma dikepeng.
Aninge Western Cape. Simonstown.
Ke batho ba o šoma metseng.
Di batho ba madini. Nganta madini anga pasi ya madi. Yo takuchenza keo. Ubaka single file. Bado baba kubiyelera ka 3T keso.
Ba re ga re tloelane morago re tla re fitlha ra o tšea ra sepela botlhe.
Re toa rote. Torokisi liti alisari.
Re gopola gore ke gentleman's drill.
Keso.
Ai kore ke ba imagine ba le busy mo pele a lewatle. Ei e ka ba ga botse ka matla.
Zuba zoto nakelela man.
A re ba bethele matsogo ke a gopela.
Keo ndi general salute. Back to carry position. Chata kuwa zwino chidimela. Kezo open order march.
Ai re bitša Russian drill or China drill go bontšha ka makgethe o re šomišana le dinaga kaofela.
Ya seria malwanje. Kawa bezwanda bachikotua.
Ha re ba bethele matsogo re ba appreciate Navy South African Navy short drill.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was a South African Navy squad, drill squad from the South African Navy. Thank you so much to the South African Navy. Right now, we were celebrating. We are going to be serious, ladies and gentlemen. The South African National Defense Force is going to demonstrate for us a very interesting capability. Kopro Cholo, it is called the
Martial arts. Ke tai chi. Ke bala bo makarati. Aba ke bala bo makarati.
Can Miss Mia take us through this one, Miss Mia?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tighten your seatbelts and fix your eyes on the arena. The temperature is about to rise, the energy is about to shift, and the battlefield is about to come alive right before your eyes. We're switching from parade precision to
A re ba bethele matsogo ke makarati, ke makarati, ke makarati, ke makarati.
Ladies and gentlemen, the South African National Defense Force prioritizes equipping its personnel with elite self-defense and physical fitness skills. Through disciplines such as karate, kickboxing, judo, taekwondo, and grappling, our soldiers build a versatile and arsenal of techniques designed to real-world effectiveness. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is power with control. This is strength with discipline. This is modern combat readiness in motion. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the South African National Defense Force Martial Arts Team.
Che.
First up, we have Sensei Pagate, Sensei Salim Mchali, Sensei Nkosana Hatana, Sensei Sia Nkata, Sensei Bunolo Ngwane, Sensei Sbusiso Kuzwayo, and the only female in the team, Sensei Nikki Bruce. So up, we start with kata. Kata is a structured series of attacks and defensive movements performed against imaginary opponents rather. Ladies and gentlemen, do not blink. Every block is a defensive against danger. Every strike is a decisive response, and every turn represents awareness in a new threat. Watch the unity, watch the timing, and watch the discipline. This is the South African National Defence Force Martial Arts Team. Up next, we have the Bankai, when training meets reality. Now, Sensei Salim Mjali steps forward, as you saw. He will demonstrate Bangai, the practical combat application of kata. Self-defense awareness is central rather within the South African National Defence Force. Soldiers are trained to assess threats instantly and respond decisively on and off the battlefield.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the female that is on the ground, interestingly enough, trained me as well. So as you can see, she's there. Do you remember me? Hi, can everybody say hi? I was trained by her. Now we are back with Sensei Pagate.
This is Senior Koyokushin Kata. Now stepping forward is Sensei Wenzile, as you see him standing there, Pagate. He will perform one of the senior katas from Kyokushin Karate, a discipline known for resilience, endurance, and mental strength. Strong stance, explosive strikes, and unshakable focus. This is physical mastery driven by mental toughness. Give it up for Sensei Wenzile Pagati, ladies and gentlemen.
Bruce Lee.
Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a colonel, a full colonel in the South African National Defence Force. A soldier with skill who uses precision and technique. Go, Sensei Pagate. Thank you, Sensei.
Hey, Mara Charles, Okasi Faith, the National Defence Force, ne?
Next.
Up next is judo, control under pressure. Now entering our arena is our judo specialist, Sensei Kuzwayo, Sensei Hatana, Sensei Ngwana, and Sensei Mkleta. In modern combat, situations evolve quickly. A soldier may be taken to the ground and must respond immediately. They will first demonstrate how to fall safely and recover. Even impact can be controlled, ladies and gentlemen. Now observe the throws. The first slowly for clarity. And then combat speed. What you're seeing is grip, lock, balance disruption, throw, and ground control. They will demonstrate how to control, neutralize, and overpower an opponent with calculated precision. That is judo, ladies and gentlemen. You too can do this one day, ladies and gentlemen. Just take the first bold step.
No, I think I want this course.
Then our demonstrating control skill, neutralizing and overpowering an opponent with calculated precision. And now, defense against multiple attackers will follow after this.
That was beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. That was beautiful. One day this could be you, ladies and gentlemen. One day this could be you.
And now, it's the defense against multiple attackers. Because preparedness means being ready for any scenario. Through martial arts training, the South African National Defence Force personnel develop resilience, situational awareness, and the confidence to respond under pressure.
Before we had an experience from the hand-to-hand combat techniques, now we're having the martial arts.
In closing, ladies and gentlemen, what you have seen happen in front of you is structured combat training that strengthens body and mind. It empowers our soldiers with practical defense skills and builds a culture of readiness within the South African National Defense Force that was strength, discipline, preparedness. Please give it up a round of applause to the South African National Defense Force martial arts team.
Beautiful, beautiful. That was a beautiful from the martial arts. That was beautiful.
Right now we are about to experience South African Navy precision drill. Re kgopela gore batho botlhe ba ishe matlho a bona a ko ka re ke bothabatšatši kgauswi le apholo e kgolokgolo ba bone ge batho ba tsena batho ba o betha precision batho ba o tšwa Simonstown le watleng ga re ba bethela matso as they are about to take the arena.
Remember, we had the precision drill from a 15 South African Infantry Battalion. Now we are going to see the type of capability as well and demonstration from the South African Navy Precision Drill Squad.
It was established in Durban. And it was then reintroduced in 1997 during South African Navy 75th birthday celebration. Got their beautiful black uniform. In South African Navy precision drill.
Of a celebration, one of our members in the office, it's a happy birthday for her, Z Sokoya, a happy birthday wherever you are. Oh, there she is, happy birthday. I'm dedicating this to you.
The precision drill is to teach a precise and orderly way of doing things. It promotes teamwork and discipline.
This is the mother of the precision drill.
It's going to be the honor.
Where is my warrant officer who will go through with us for the South African Navy Precision Drill Squad? Because you are going to be watching closely the type of drills and see what type of beauty they're going to expose for us.
It consists of 24 junior ratings and 2 dramas.
Watch what they are going to create right now. Let's pay attention to the South African Navy Precision Drill Squad. What letter is that you see on the ground?
Don't give to my Navy, but your letter N to represent the Navy.
we are using is not a live weapon that they use in military areas. This is only for ceremonial purposes.
Madila efika of age and olebella ngabathulana lokuthulana basefela endlini ichana ngicela ukuthulana warren tura lokore le wa tshwanetse matho ba ka idira.
As you can see, the figure 8. This is the figure 8. Shout out to our drummers, thank you, drummer man.
O gola gore ga re tshepta specific le basadi ba grilla. Ke bone difomo di tswile batho ba apply-ang batho ba apply-ang ka ba o mongwe wa bona next step. Straight from Simonstown, Western Cape.
Yeah. What about Canada? That's the beautiful about it. South African Day.
Har man kai mo udi ba kana ko sepe, mo ba ka ro ba sepe.
Parallel to that? Yeah.
90 degrees Celsius.
Take note, they are not having any sort of instruction from anyone. This shows hours of practice and rehearsals. Ladies and gentlemen, Rabashabale Matsoho. South African Day.
Ujako style. When they go up to 3 feet, they do it amazing, man. Check out about that.
Beautiful coordination. This is called a slow march. This is a slow march.
Usually used for funeral ceremonies.
They are paying a compliment to the principles available. This is beautiful, this is beautiful, this is beautiful. Thank you, drummer man. Thank you, drummer man. Shout out to Mr. Drummer.
What are they going to 3 feet by the with this one? And all over South African Navy is the mother of precision drill.
They are flowing like water. Look at them lean back.
started out and maybe brought it up. Oh, whatever, don't want to easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Shabbat Masobo, Shabbat Masobo.
As we hand you over to our amazing and gifted Colonel Sharon, the airborne capabilities, but Bagashuyeki Nabo, Yaretona, whatever, Wadimu, but what
Ladies and gentlemen, every good attendance to you all. Timela show Torella, Realosha, you get low the boss, kicking me out of the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, today we proudly present the skill, their dedication, discipline and operational excellence of our elite soldiers together with the aircrew. This is a joint demonstration incorporating the landward capability of the South African Army, fully supported and aided by the South African Air Force capability. Prepare yourself for a rare glimpse into the world of those who stand between danger and safety, these silent protectors of our freedom and the democratic rule of our beloved motherland, South Africa. What you will witness today is not a performance, but a reflection of real missions executed under darkness, behind the lines where only courage speaks. Every action you're about to witness forms part of real-world missions executed with precision under demanding and constrained conditions. Please give a round of applause to our men and women in uniform. Matao,
every action you're about to witness today, it really forms part of the real world missions. Please relax, sit back, as we will be seeing and witnessing the sons and daughters of the soil dedicated to defend the sovereignty of the Republic. The members partaking in this demonstration are from the South African Army, the Airborne Fraternity capability from 44 Parachute Regiment, 1 Parachute Regiment, supported by members of the South African Army Specialized Infantry capability, the South African Air Force, fighter aircraft, the CASA 212, and our nation's pride combat support helicopter, the Rayfalk. The ground commander for this activity is none other than Major Khosi Maleti, supported by the ground liaison officer, Lieutenant Colonel Chimangadzo Roni Mashao, the son of the soil, Ngwana Morae, the base aviation safety coordinator coming from Air Force Base Makado. So, ladies and gentlemen, brace up, prepare yourself, look up to the skies. There will be formation of Hawk lead-in fighter trainer coming from our left-hand side, flying towards our right-hand side. In other words, they are coming from the north, going south. In the next few minutes, at exactly 13:36 Bravo time. Slick, powerful, and precise. This aircraft represents discipline, skill, and excellence in the air. I'm counting down in the next 2 minutes. Watch as the pilots bring her in with remarkable control and confidence, a true demonstration of training, teamwork, and aviation mastery. The roar of the engine and the smooth descent remind us why this aircraft is respected both as a trainer and a frontline performer. Jwale ka ke boletse gore e tlo ba e tswelela ka letlhakoreng la ngele ke ra letlhakore la leboa e fofa go ya letlhakoreng la borwa a re beng komana madula ba pile e tloga di fihla ke tse pedi. This two-ship formation is led by Major Clyde Ross Naidu, call sign Ronin. He's flying together with Major Mponkosi, call sign Regna. The second Hawk is flown by Major Tabisong Gauda, call sign Castro. All right, I was just told that the aircraft is 60 seconds out, exactly 1 minute. Stand by, you're about to see it. All right, stand by, stand by, stand by. All right, in the second aircraft, Lieutenant Major Ngauta, backseat is Lieutenant Colonel Scott Logie, call sign Prowler. All of them are from 85 Combat Flying School, Air Force Base Makado. Look, close formation, coming from the left-hand side, going towards the right-hand side, on a fighting wing. Those are the Hawk. Hey! Hawk! Hey! Check! They're going towards the left-hand side. They'll fly all over, around again, and they will give us a beautiful fly past again. That's how much those guys love us. Right, fighter trainer. Down the close formation vision, fending out the stealth of the speed. All right, what they're doing now is the reconnaissance run. They've just done the reconnaissance run at about 300 feet above level. 400 knots is the ground speed. So basically the purpose of the reconnaissance is to scope out potential places of interest, whether being bridges, farms, petroleum, lubricant sites, as well as intelligence buildings, etc. It is what they are find by means of the camera report or even naturally. Okay, they are coming back now. Lead trail formation A. Baba shalane mara. Baba sale khausu ka khausu go tshora le ka pele. Bona bele o mongwe o kopele, o mongwe a few meters behind. So this second one, they're coming in full and air to ground. Cannon attack! That is it. Cannon attack. The positions, they locked onto the system, they will return for their strike. Right, when they will be pitching to 2,000 feet above level. Two position for a 20-degree dive towards the target in order to accurately aim and fire the cannon onto the target from about 1.2 kilometers away. Right, let me tell you more about this gentleman flying. The commander, like I said, on the first crop is Major Clyde Ross, Major Clausen running. He was born 33 years ago. Oh, they're coming back. Look, this is... Look! You're in the way. Hey, South African Force. This gentleman was born 3 years ago from Devon. Beautiful. Qualified as a pilot in 2014. Won the piloting species 7 and he joined 85 Common Flight School in 2016, and he qualified as a flight leader in the year 2019. There they are. All right, and as for Major Ngauta, he was born and bred in the southern side of Johannesburg. He matriculated in the year 2006 at General Smarts High School. All right, now the Hawks. Right, if we can check properly, I'm not sure, I think this gentleman might fly a little bit above the clouds. We are expecting a CASA 2 and 2 from 44 Squadron in Air Force Base Waterkloof. So this gentleman is bringing the 4 free fallers. We are about to witness people coming from the sky. The CASA is about a minute plus away. Just make sure you look up and zoom in so you can be able to see it. It's coming from the southern side, right to left, south to north. The commander has activated the CASA 2 and 2 from 44 Squadron Air Force Base Waterkloof to insert the pathfinders by means of high altitude parachute operations, and this will be simulated at a drop height of 9,000 feet above ground level to be overhead shortly. The 4-man team operators are from 44 Parachute Regiment and 15 Sai jumping in respectively behind the enemy line. Check. This aircraft is the medium utility transport capable to carry out paradrops and cargo drops, both static line and free fall. The aircraft has the capacity of lifting a load of 20 paratroopers without equipment and 16 with personal equipment containers. Our elite operators are about to demonstrate a high altitude military free fall parachute. Yeah, it's 1 minute out, exactly 60 seconds. Shortly, you're about to see action. Again, this technique is used to infiltrate behind enemy lines, conducting surveillance or inserting special forces, pathfinders and artillery anchor observers undetected. High above, cutting silently through the clouds, the airborne warriors descend. They jump not for spectacle, but to reach where no vehicle can travel, where every second shapes destiny. All right, just be patient a little bit. Stand by. The commander of this CASA is Lieutenant Colonel Boitumelo Kheta, call sign London. He was born and bred in Atteridgeville, one of the township Busubela Chachi Biatswane, Pretoria. Shule godimo lebelela ba le gona. Le lalang le mo lebeleleng le tla mona. Ke CASA. Oh, wa mathomo shule o tswile. Tsona we. Ke Lieutenant Colonel Mokoena. Go bobedi shule. Ke ba bana ka pala. Wa borarele ba bana ba tswile ka moka. A re ba lebelele shishere ipsine ka go ba bogela. All right, Colonel Kheta is 44 years old of age. He's also a flying instructor, currently the ops coordinator and training coordinator at 44 Squadron. He also flew the PC-7 Mark II Astra aircraft, as well as Cessna 28 and the Pilatus PC-12. His total flying hours are over 2,300. Hey, Lena, beautiful. And with beautiful red parachutes belonging to South African Army. All right, now, the gentleman flying today. Yeah, military free fall parachute displayed by the members of the South African National Defence Force. At the jumping altitude of about 9,000 feet above ground level, parachute type Zip 235, branded South African Army, and canopies. Number 1 is a smoke, and number 3. So the team is led by Lieutenant Colonel R.M. Mokoena from 42 Parachute Regiment, experienced, seasoned campaigner with over 5,000 jumps. Colonel Mokoena ke khala fofa dikete tse tlhano tsa di jumps tsa gagwe. He is the senior instructor and the dispatcher in the load, followed by Lance Corporal T.S. Selamolela, as Sergeant S.P. Modise, and the three of them are from 44 Parachute Regiment, respectively, and together with them they have Corporal P.N. Doe from 15 South African Infantry. All right, Colonel Mokoena. He's a free fall instructor on the high altitude, high opening, high altitude, low opening, tandem master, tandem instructor examiner in the USA with more than 5,000 jumps, and the first black instructor examiner in Africa. Hey, Colonel Mokoena is the first black instructor. Let's give him a round of applause, honoring this beautiful milestone. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 is Lance Corporal T.S. Namola, also from 44. He is also a free fall instructor, high altitude, high opening, high altitude, low opening, with more than 1,100 jumps. The third one is Sergeant S.P. Modise, also instructor, high altitude, high opening, high altitude, low opening, with more than 2,300 jumps. Hey, and these guys are having fun. Ba ipsina ka nto ba idirange, ba rata nto ba idirang, ba ikgantsha ka yona. Le wena o ka swana le bona. Ga e kgetholle taba ye. Le wena o ka swana le bona. Beautiful. And number 4 is Corporal P.N. Doe, Moroa mo Mabu, wana wa mo, son of the soil, also from 15 side. Hey, look at them. Zoom in. Beautiful. Lieutenant Colonel Mokoena, the first one to land. Look at him. Bona, we get it on. Hey! Me kholo bona le melodi wazo. Ah, ria. Beautiful. Hey! Shut it. What's the ring? Shata Wadu. Dia Mua Malimpopo, Dia Mua Motoyendo. Kumanata, Bangladesh. I think that is number 2. He's also beautiful. It's beautiful. Wonderful. All right. Let's stand by for the third one to win. Good job. All right, let's stand by for the third to land. The third one to land. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Hey! Awesomeness. We are having a lot of fun. We are proud of this journey. Yeah, so this is beautiful. Wow. So this is the episode. Operation is used to infiltrate whereby one jumps out of the aircraft about sea level and activate his operation. At 3,000 feet above ground level, many of his members are jumping. And they are ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big round of applause.
To appreciate such a wonderful leg. Let us also give a round of applause to Kenneth Shoroma for such a wonderful presentation. And let us also give a shout out and a warm appreciation with head to our wonderful jumper. Arba Betela Mato. This is quite amazing. There is no way we can enjoy it.
Right, back to the lovely Kero Shoroma, who's going to take us to the Royal Folk exhibition.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ground attack is supported by the Royal Falcons and Air Force Guards and the helicopter to deliver a high volume of fire, suppressing the enemy, taking out hard and point targets. Shortly, few seconds, like plus minus 30. Brace on 5 seconds. Stand back. Listen. Attentively. It's coming. Yay! Those are the Royal Falcons. Formation. 2 ships. One in camo and another one painted white. So this first performance in the ground sweep between the helicopters and landing at Motorbike is actually in the simulated area inspection where if we were going to have the Oryx medium utility helicopter or any helicopter landing in the stadium, what they actually do, they do a blow-through, flying low to check if the landing area is clear. Then they pitch up into a Duncan, making sure that the area where the troops will be inserted is safe. If you can check, one Rayfalk is flying higher at about 1,000 feet and the other Rayfalk is flying, orbiting lower. Check. Check the Rayfalks. The role of the higher Rayfalk is
platoon of parapets who have been dropped in a predetermined zone. At any moment, they're going to hit contact. All right, what you're witnessing, ladies and gentlemen, is that contact has now been made between our own forces and the opposing forces. As you can see, they must now do their firing movements. They're laying on a prone position, firing at the opposing forces that are also firing at own forces. Ladies and gentlemen, Higher Command has been informed that there's been contact between our own forces and the opposing forces as we're witnessing at the moment. It's also been informed that no casualties have been sustained by own forces. All right, this is called a quick attack. It is led by Lieutenant Au from 1 Parachute Battalion, and supporting this will be Sasi. You can see them coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see at the moment, opposing forces have started to sustain some casualties. As you can see, the operation is supported by the Air Force. Higher Command still receiving a situation report on the ground. As you can see, own forces doing their firing movements, fixing the opposing forces. As you can see, they're laying on the ground. They are now inflicting maximum casualties when it comes to the opposing forces. As you can see, they're laying on the ground. But as you can see that they are not giving up. They are still resisting. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, that own forces throwing smoke on the ground to provide cover as they move, doing their firing movements. The aim at this point in time is to make sure that own forces start to hold ground. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, they're fixing the opposing forces, maximum casualties from the opposing forces. Higher Command continuously receiving situation reports of this contact battle. At this point in time, no casualties from own forces, maximum casualties from the opposing forces. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, doing their firing movements, the platoon commander giving the command, Alpha move, Bravo move, Charlie move. As you can see, they're now in a kneeling position, ladies and gentlemen. They're now creating what is known as a fire belt action, ensuring that they are inflicting maximum casualties. The opposing forces, as you can see, that they are still resisting, although they can see that they are fighting a losing battle. What we're witnessing at the moment is that own forces is beginning to hold ground as they push back the opposing forces. The opposing forces commander is starting to see what Icon, I am losing this battle. His members, as you can see, men down. All right, what we are seeing at the moment is a reinforcement from the South African Army specialized infantry capability who have been activated by the commander. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, they're on the flanks coming in as a reinforcement to this platoon that is currently in contact with the opposing forces. As you can see, they're trying to fire at Sasik that is currently on the flanks. Ladies and gentlemen, Higher Command has been informed that Sasik is on the ground, that own forces have not sustained any injuries as a result of this contact battle. As you can see, smoke has been thrown in as they start to draw back. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing forces commander realizes that he has lost the battle. His members are men down. As you can see, laying there, Sasik is on the ground to come and just deal with minor resistance from the opposing forces. As soon as the forces that you see on the ground are done with the battle, they've thrown another smoke. They are starting to peel off, to move out as they have now concluding the battle, realizing that they have won it against the opposing forces. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're witnessing at the moment, opposing forces, they're surrendering, lifting up their weapons. They've lost the battle. We're seeing smoke everywhere as own forces begin to peel off. Now Sasik just dealing with minor resistance, making sure there's no more resistance from the opposing forces. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, realizing that the opposing forces are now handing themselves over. They're going to confiscate weapons. They're going to search them, ladies and gentlemen. At this point in time, Higher Command receiving a report, and military police, as we can see, have been brought onto the scene to come and arrest these opposing forces. Now, they are now called prisoners of war. They've now sustained the status of prisoners of war. As you can see, that the arrests are taking place as military police has been called in. They're doing arrests. As you can see, infantry giving an all-round defense, allowing our esteemed military police to start arresting these prisoners of war. Remember, if you've lost in a war and you surrender, you become a prisoner of war, and intelligence will also be brought in so they can start questioning those who are alive. Ladies and gentlemen, medical personnel as well is called onto the scene. As I mentioned to you, that the opposing forces have sustained maximum casualties. As you can see, as military police is arresting our medical personnel, coming onto the scene to come and give medical assistance to those who have been injured as a result of this contact battle. All right, take note that our medical personnel must still give medical assistance even to the opposing forces. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Higher Command has been given a situation report that the situation on the ground is stable. As you can see, infantry giving our all-round defense, allowing military police as well as our SAMs, our South African Military Health Service, to give medical attention as well. Witnessing, we've also been informed at the moment that no injuries have been sustained by own forces, but as you can see, men down for the opposing forces, and this is just the work that our men do in some situations they can find themselves in when they are deployed. Higher Command is happy. Military police has been withdrawn, arrests have been done. As you can see also, our medical personnel also withdrawing from the scene. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Higher Command has been given the situation report. Situation is now stabilized, waiting for the own forces to withdraw as they wait for the command. As you can see, the medical attention that is required by an injured member. Let us observe as the South African Military Health Service takes us through that. As you can see them. All right, the commander is happy, continuously receiving reports from the ground as to how the situation is as a result of this contact battle. We're now witnessing the South African Military Health Service doing what they do best, giving medical attention to somebody who was injured as a result of this contact battle. It's very important for you to note and understand that while they're doing this, they still have an all-round defense from those who are armed. As you can see, that is our infantry that is going to make sure that there is no further opposing forces or any surprises. They still remain armed, allowing our medical personnel to do their job as we're seeing right now. All right, the protection element is there. As you can see, men down for the opposing forces. Higher Command receiving reports in terms of the status on the ground. This is an example of a quick attack, ladies and gentlemen. We're just observing our medical personnel just showcasing to us in this situation. We saw our military police did come onto the scene to arrest those POWs or prisoners of war. As we're watching now, South African Military Health Service coming off the scene, still protected by our infantry as they perform what they are doing.
Hawk formation coming from east to west. They are saying a goodbye. Let's give them a big round of applause. Beautiful. The formation leader is running. Major Naidu, with him is Regna. And in the second aircraft, we have Castro as well as Prowl.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, Higher Command has been informed that our military, the South African Military Health Police, have moved out of the scene. As you can see, our infanteers also begin to peel off that were protection element to the forces. Can you see him tapping the next man and the next man and the next man, and they're now going to move out of the scene as the contact battle is now concluded. In a real-life scenario, they will also do a roll call at this point in time, ensuring the number of people they came with is the same as they go out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a demonstration that is proudly brought to you by 1 Parachute Battalion, supported by South African Army Specialized Infantry capabilities, South African Military Health Service, as well as the military police. Please give them a round of applause.
Where are you going?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've just received a report that one of our commanders was on his way to a meeting to go and give his higher command the situation report in terms of this contact battle. As he was traveling towards the meeting, we were also informed that the opposing forces have managed to detect the movement of that vehicle. Please observe the arena. We're going to see our military principal that is traveling to a meeting to go and give higher command the situation report on the ground. We're just waiting for the vehicle. Keep your eyes on the arena. We're going to witness the vehicle just now as military police come onto the scene to demonstrate to us. All right, and to all the learners that are here today, if you like all the things that you see here, and you know that one day you see yourself being a part of the South African National Defence Force, yes, we want you to join us. Yes, we are looking for you. Don't forget to make your way to our static display on the other side. Our military practitioners as well as human resources is ready to explain to you on what it takes to join us.
Matebula Wisdom, renale ID ya hao. Matebula Wisdom, please come and get your ID card.
All right, we're just waiting for a demonstration from the military police.
When I saw the ambulance leaving the arena, I was very impressed and I was reminded of Project OA 2 for such an incredible job they have been doing in Limpopo. The Humanitarian Community Outreach Program. Ke ba bone ba alafa dikgomo.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much to the South African Military Health Services with the Project OA2. They were in Sekhukhune as well as what is that place it's called? Ramatlo, as well as they're going to be here in November. They're doing a beautiful, beautiful service to the people of Limpopo. It is like a love letter to the community because our military practitioners are here for us. One day that could be you in uniform having to work with people and the community as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned to you, here comes the action. Our military principal is currently in the bus that you are seeing. He has been held hostage by unidentified suspects. As you can see, military police from 13 Provost Company have been activated to apprehend this bus. Ladies and gentlemen, our beloved general is inside that bus. As you can see, these suspects are firing at military police. These are men from 13 Provost Company. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, they are chasing the bus that has kidnapped our general who's inside there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these suspects have not been identified, but they are firing at the military police. As you can see, they're doing an all-round defense at them, firing. They must ensure that they perform their drills and not harm our general. As you can see, a smoke screen has been thrown as they're going to approach that vehicle that is currently holding our general hostage. Ladies and gentlemen, witness as they approach it. They flank it from the left and the right as they're going inside of it. They've thrown a smoke screen trying to get our general out and arrest these suspects. We're just waiting for a report. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, there is our general being moved to safety, being put into the vehicle. Thank goodness he has no injuries sustained as a result of this contact between military police and these suspects. As I mentioned to you, this is a company from 13 Provost military police. As you can see, our general is now safe. They're beginning to move out. The suspects are laying on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, they're beginning to surrender themselves to military police who are going to arrest these gentlemen who had hijacked the general. As we can see, the general is now being moved to a place of safety where also our medical personnel will be able to monitor and ensure that he's in good health. What we're witnessing at the moment is that the MPs are now arresting these heavily armed criminals who wanted to hijack and kidnap our general. As you can see, they're now being arrested. And as I mentioned to you, our general is safe and sound, and military police have now done their arrest. They're going to move out. As you can see, the rest of them are waiting for the rest to move out so they can move in a grouping. As you can see, the general's vehicle is protected with military police in front and back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a demonstration from 13 Pro, demonstrating to us how they can be utilized in a situation like this. Please give them a round of applause. All right, we are still here, ladies and gentlemen. This is some of the cool stuff that we do. Our general is safe, he's moving out. Thank you, 13 Pro. You are our heroes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, higher command has been informed. Our general is safe. Members from 13 Pro rescued this hostage situation. All right, now higher command has also been informed that as own forces were advancing, returning back to the base, ladies and gentlemen, the bridge that they're supposed to use to cross over has unfortunately been destroyed by opposing forces. Batsim. All right, at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to witness a demonstration from our engineers. They're going to be demonstrating to us a situation that we can find ourselves in when we are deployed. And in this scenario, our own forces are currently on in advance, going back to the base. As they're advancing, their bridge is unfortunately destroyed by opposing forces, and our esteemed engineers have to be called in to come and fix that bridge. Let us observe.
How I wish I had this opportunity when I was young to experience a beautiful capability expo from the South African National Defence Force.
Batsim, over to you.
The South African Army engineers are going to show us their capabilities as well. Luena, only interested in mechanical engineering or any sort of engineering, we are here for you. We have a different capabilities. We are here for you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned to you, that our own forces were on in advance, and the bridge that they were utilizing was destroyed by opposing forces. Our engineers will be brought onto the scene to fix that bridge so that own forces can be able to continue with the advance.
Such scenarios can happen on the ground where sometimes our forces need to move to a different area, but due to geographical constraints, we need to create a leeway. And the South African Army engineers say, yes, we are capable of creating a leeway for our soldiers in deployment.
All right, over to you, engineers. Let us witness as they build the bridge, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and Lieutenant Mia is here to explain to us the bridge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on our soldiers who build as boldly as they defend. Taking their place in the arena are the dedicated men and women of the South African Army Engineers, specialists in mobility, infrastructure, and mission support. They are building a 5-bay medium girder bridge spanning 9 meters, built globally, assembled under pressure. An ideal completion time is 12 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. They will finish building the bridge in just under 12 minutes. But today the bridge is damaged. Engineers must assess, repair, and restore the route so forces can advance. So ladies and gentlemen, the engineers formation, it builds more than steel and concrete. We honor the South African Army engineers, the men and women who quite literally connect our nation. In 5, 4.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we can see at the moment, our engineers are going to fix the bridge. Infantry has been activated by higher command to come and give an all-round defense while our engineers fix the bridge. As we can see them, here they come, coming to support the engineers with an all-round defense as they build the bridge. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us witness as members from 44 simulate to us an all-round defense assisting our engineers, ensuring that there is no interference from the opposing forces that blew up the bridge that our own forces had to use to advance. They're going to do an all-round defense now, ensuring that our engineers can fix the bridge. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we can see, they're in an all-round defense, allowing our engineers to do the bridge. Engineers, over to you.
As mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, they are building a 5-bay medium girder bridge spanning 9 meters. Again, we say they're going to finish this in under 12 minutes, literally 12 minutes. Toyando, when we speak about nation building, we often think of borders and battlefields. But there's another front line, the fight against isolation, poverty, and inaccessibility. In the most remote villages of KwaZulu-Natal, the Eastern Cape, Mpumalanga, and right here in Limpopo, our engineers are closing the gap between hardship and hope by building bridges in underprivileged communities. That unity becomes visible when a bridge rises over a once dangerous river. It becomes real when a child can reach school safely, even after heavy rains. It becomes powerful, ladies and gentlemen, when a pregnant mother can access medical care without risking her life crossing flooded pathways. It becomes practical when a farmer can transport produce to market and contribute to the local economy. These men and women ensure that this is able and is possible in all communities around South Africa. So through the Weli Caesar Rural Bridges, the program and the chief of the Army, let me say that again. Through the Weli Caesar Rural Bridges program and the chief of the Army Outreach Project, the Engineer Corps has delivered infrastructure where it is needed the most. These very bridges, ladies and gentlemen, are not symbolic gestures, they are lifelines.
And I heard about the Tembe Bridge, which they built and launched recently. It was called a coffin bridge, but it was endangering lives until they launched a Tembe Bridge to show their capabilities and their abilities. As South African National Defence Force, re tshwere di power kaofela. Ekaba onyaka oba one of the engineers ka gare ga South African National Defence Force, you can still be an engineer. Re ska lebala, even sound engineering applies. Minolo kwa mogara o hirisha o dirilwe ke mashole.
Ladies and gentlemen, these bridges mark the strengthening of rural connectivity and the reaffirmation of our responsibility to serve every South African regardless of geography. The purpose of the South African Army Engineers is clear: to ensure that no community remains cut off, to restore dignity through access to strengthen resilience through infrastructure and to turn obstacles into pathways. Their work extends beyond construction sites. They restore trust in public service. They strengthen the social fabric of our country, South Africa. They demonstrate that when the army builds, it builds for its people, by its people, for its people. All of this still under 12 minutes. Look at them work in unison and in the team.
And le ge re ka gopola ka nako e mafula a le movenda ba ile ba tla ba thusha di-engineers go netefatša gore dikoloi di kgona go feta le batho ba kgona go feta re šoma le bona and ba netefatša gore ka project welisiswe maphelo a batho a fetoga.
Definitely. Project Weli Sizwe literally translates to let the nation go over, pass over. The South African Army engineers are saying, Tuma mina, I will be the one that will help the nation go to the other side. What you're seeing and experiencing right now is a team that is working tirelessly to ensure that the forces can be able to move from point A to point B seamlessly. Under 12 minutes, they are saying, yes, we can build and repair at this bridge. What you're experiencing is the South African Army engineering formation.
And ge o ka lebelela the demonstrations we had di bontšha gabotse gore re a šomišana ba bangwe ba dia maprogo ba bangwe ba taka di-ambulance ba bangwe ba tshwere dithunya ba ba protectile re bolela ka all round defense batho ba le ba bonang ba eme mo ba protectile bale e ba aga le porogo because if there is no protection the bridge can still be broken down.
This can be you as well. This can be you if you are interested in such graphic or engineering aspects of the military. You can find yourself in the South African Army Engineering Corps. As we can see, the forces are on the ground. There's an all-around defense from our parapets saying, while you are fixing the bridge under 12 minutes, we will protect, because the all-round defense means that they are protecting from any opposing enemy in an all-round simulation. This is beautiful to watch. It shows that, yes, we are a collaborative South African National Defense Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that before you leave today, make way to the military career village, conveniently located right next to the stadium. There you will find a static display representing all arms of service within the South African National Defense Force. Make sure that you go there, take the first bold step to join us and be in uniform.
Ke nngwe ya ditshedimošo tša gore rena jwale ka mašole a re šome fela ka olwa le go aga go agišana le go agiša a re a dira. So if o nyaka ba a civil engineer tseba gore o gae ge o le mo South African National Defense Force.
Still under 12 minutes, working tirelessly to ensure that the bridge is built for you.
Engineering formation ke kgolo ba bangwe ke di-graphic designer ba bangwe ke di-photographer ba bangwe ke di-civil engineer mehutahuta ya batho. So ge o nyaka go dira tše dingwe tša tše tseba gore le mo South African National Defense Force re o swaretše tšona sepela ka mo matheko ko static display o botšiše dipotšišo tše o nang le tšona o gopole gore di-application form le tšona di tšwile apply ya ngwana papa.
Join us. Come one, come all. Make sure that you join us. This shouldn't be in vain. Use this opportunity. This is the first of many.
Re ba shapele matsogo.
Ga re bolela ka teamwork le tšhomišo ya maatla teamwork. tshwantse o be fit. That's why re o fetiša basic training o re o fe maatla re be re fetolele monagano wa gago o kwešiše pele gore bošole ke eng. Batho ba bote ba venda a re nyaka o ba valela phanda. Come and make an application.
This is the South African Army Engineering. One thing about the South African National Defense Force is we find talent from within. Do not sideline yourself and say, oh no, I do not have a qualification for engineering. We will also help you study at state expense. You can find yourself with a qualification as well.
O gopola gore le basadi ba gona ge o ka lebelela botse wa bula matlho o tlo lemoga gore le basadi ba kuka.
I hope you're taking videos, everyone, so that you can ensure that we train so everybody knows that you were training with the South African National Defense Force. Connect with us on our social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, as well as TikTok.
Ikorna lina la ona le bosijwang ba re ke engineer formation. Batho ba bantši ba na le o nana o ka re rena jwale ka mašole mane re ditompoponyana.
We're smart. We're educated.
There's a theme, there's a part in the theme of the South African Army where it says, we are having strategic brilliance. Brilliance, ladies and gentlemen, in short, ke dibuka, o sibe wa tšhaba dibuka.
Ene batho ba tshwantse ba lemoga gore o lwa o tšea botlhale a o tšee maatla fela e o ka ba le maatla fela o ka ikgobatša.
Remember, they're building the bridge under 12 minutes. I'm sure this is the first time in your life that you see a bridge being built live action. The men and women in uniform are showing you that it's possible because the South African National Defense Force always puts themselves in situations to protect, defend, and also show that we are here for the people because we are for the people.
Project Welisizwe e netefaditše gore gotlhe mo dipula nkileng tša senya bona ba fitlhile ba thuša gore dinaga di seke tša sokola.
Definitely, we had floods as well about 2 to 3 weeks ago. The SA Army Engineer Formation said, Tumamina, General Tumamina, we are going to be there to assist. So the people that were there helping the nation cross over, the school kids, the employees of Toyando Venda, they were saying, where will we get our help from? And the SA Army Engineer said, we are here. So one day, it could be you having such a purpose-driven career.
And they work in the most remote villages of KwaZulu-Natal, the Eastern Cape, Mpumalanga, and also right here in Limpopo. They are closing the gap and making sure that these bridges are built and they are put to good use.
Kaba debo de batho ba bote ba venda ba to apply. We need you to be part of us. Batho ba tlogile gole Free State ba tlogile Western Cape, Eastern Cape, dinaga mabapi Afrika Borwa ka bophara ba eta venda go tore wena tšea monyetla še o be le šole ska tšhaba o apply. We are waiting for your application. Le sepedi se ya bolla se re maleka se magona ke maboeletša tšwela pele o lokela di-application le lengwe la matšatši o ta humana kholo over SMS.
Go SA Army Engineers!
Let's encourage them, let's encourage them, let's encourage them. Thank you, my selector.
Ladies and gentlemen, their work extends beyond construction sites. They restore trust in public service. They strengthen the social fabric of our country. They demonstrate one that the Army builds, it builds for the people. That's the SA Army Engineers.
Remember, this bridge must be built under 12 minutes, and already I think I can see as if as though they are done. Are they done, ladies and gentlemen? At the bridge, I can see the last steel is being placed right now, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as they fall in, that means the project is done. Khariba shapele matsogo.
To the South African Army Engineers, you are shaping the future of this nation, one bridge at a time. Thank you so much for your service.
As you can see, the commander is telling his men on the ground that we can now peel off. The objective has been reached. They were protected while ensuring that our own forces can move from point A to point B. Thank you so much to our parabets.
Re lebelele gore ba be ba aga le program nnete because ba tshwantse ba fete mo lona. Ba tshwantse ba fete mo lona e le ge ba lata enemy to the other side. Ne ba ipotsa gore ba re thibeletše mara ba ka se loke. A re cheke ore na ke le program nnete na. A re ba bethele matso. He a feta koloi. He a feta koloi. Ke le bridge into la bana. Project Welisizwe engineer formation. Batho ba benda ipethele matsogo, ipethele matsogo, ipethele matsogo. Thego ya lena re a e leboga.
What a beautiful representation of the South African Army Engineer. I just wish as though we can just celebrate for at least 30 seconds. My DJ, my selector, can we just celebrate for 30 seconds? We know how to have fun as well.
Matebula wisdom, ke tshwere pasa ya gago, ke na le ID card ya gago.
Remember, we are also here, the forms are out today. So one of the most important things that you need for the application is your ID. So make sure that your ID is safe. Corporal Charles, can you just give me in one line the consistencies in terms of Huaplaya or not join the South African National Defense Force? I'm talking about the consistencies. What should they look out for? Should they be South African? Should they enter when they are 20? Can you give me those consistencies, sir?
Mara obviously re nyaka South African citizens and ba netefatša gore ge e le gore ga ona and not forgetting what a Sergeant General of the South African Military Health Services, ka di 13 February o ile a etela Elim Hospital. Mo e leng gore our ophthalmology people ba ile ba kwa motho ka Setsonga a re ne a bona sweswe ka lebaka la gore ba mmotse matho. Ke go botša nnete, and ba tlwaetše o dia fela di-operation tše 75 mara last week ba kgonne o dia 89 operations tša matlo batho ba bona. It was through
military health services.
And it was through Project Owe.
General, thank you, General. Thank you.
Fatwa munhu ka Xitsonga a ri na vona sweswe va ri jo our ophthalmologists are angry now. They are making sure. Thank you so much South African Military Health Services for making or impacting Limpopo in such an amazing way. Really leboga.
I've mentioned before, the South African National Defence Force is a purpose-driven career. Remember, we are at a career expo as well. So, Luena, you can come here and actually, funny enough, you can find yourself in the military. What I mean by that is, when I joined, I didn't know who I was until I joined. Now I know what. Hey, I can run now. I am a soldier. I can shoot and run at the same time. That could be you as well. You could run and shoot at the same time, as well as working with the South African Military Health Services, making sure that the blind can see.
We can shoot and run at the same time. We can shoot and run at the same time.
Speaking, even singing, ladies and gentlemen, we also have choral renditions. More South African National Defence Force. You could join the army as well. Renali Band, you guys saw the band, the National Ceremonial Guard as well. We'll teach you everything. When you come to the South African National Defence Force, we just want your body. And then we will make you move too, because as you can see, me as well as I'm in uniform. Before I didn't know what I was capable to be a soldier. And look at me today, Kimontle Yanka uniform. As you can see, we have the South African Navy gun run entering on the far right of the gate. I'm going to hand over to Warrant Officer Kwinda. Is on.
South African Navy gun run.
Ke ba go jena ba Swana na ba sizana ba Navy ba go do ita gun run kacha monde ndi team red kacha ula ndi ba zwa blue batho ba songo angwa ndi mutatisano vane ba ṱavhanya u fhedza and ba safe ndi bone bo winner.
Yeah. And re gopole gore gun run e thomile ke South African Navy ge ile ba be ba thusha mashole a mofase go thuntša.
Ndi sone gun run yo thomiwa nga Navy musi ri tshi khou thusa vhane ra vhidza dzi ground forces vha tshi khou ṱoḓa uri ri kone u covera distance khulwane. Arali vho sedza kha gun run ndi zwipiḓa zwiraru hafhaḽa tsha murahu ndi yone gun, tsiri phanḓa ndi limbo ha kona u tevhela thambo ine ya vhori ndi yone ine ya vha khou khwikhwidziwa vha tshi khou gidima.
And re gopole gore no le ska e nyatša South African Navy ba na le dithunya tša mannete tša go thuntšha ba le ko sekepeng ye ba e šomiša fela for di-parade le di-ceremonies o no bontšha gore na bona kgale ne ba šoma ka maatla jwang.
Ndi zwone zwigidi hezwi ndi zwa ḓivha zwa kale a ri tsha zwi shumisa zwa zwino ri ḓi tou zwi shumisa nga dzi parade khezwo tsho lila tshigidi vho takutshedza.
And about ba sensitive to sound, please wear your earplugs because re tlo kwa medumo ye mentšinyana e le ge ba tla ba thuntša.
Khezwo vho swika kha third cone vha khou ḓo disconnecta vha khou ḓo kwelula gani na limbo. Vha swika kha middle cone hune vha khou ḓo ita
half wheel change.
Zwino half wheel change vha ḓo vha khou tshintsha thela ḽithihi ḽi re kha limbo vha tshintsha ḽithihi ḽi re kha gani vho takula a hu na jege hafhanoni. U fhedza u connecta vha khou take cover dzi gunners dza livha kha dzi 3 pounder vha thuntsha.
And re gopole gore ka mokgwa ba dutšeng ka ona ba kwatame ba dia gore sethunya e se thuntšha o be batho ba moka ba bolokegile.
Ba takutshedza zwino ba kha cones dzo guma hune vha khou ḓo ita
full drop.
Full drop ndi hafha hune vha kweulula zwithu zwoṱhe limbo na gun dzo dzula fhasi vha tshi fhedza vha take cover nga formation ya
moon landing formation.
Kezo captain mbili dzi ḓo sumbedzela hanefhaḽa kha mulanguli ane vha warrant officer uri vha ready.
re gopola gore moon landing e ba thusha gore ba bolokege ge šetše ba thuntšha sethunya. Take the cover.
Kezo volindela u pfa mutsindo vha kona u takutshedza futhi. Kezo
Ba tshwantse ba e bušetše sekeng jwalo ba boele morago.
va fona u kweya futhi va fhedze va gidima a wu na jekenda li veiwi fhasi li gideliyani. Kezo team red va sumbedza va phanḓa u swika zwino vha khou ḓo ima hanefhaḽa vhukati vha ita mini zwino?
Ba dira what we call full change.
Full wheel change vha khou ḓo tshentsha mavhili a re kha gane na mavhili ane a vha kha limbo.
Ene re gopola gore ga e gender specific le basadi ke dumela gore le a ba bona ene ba kuka ba raloke.
Khebo nga maanḓa vhafumakadzi u sumbedza uri vha na maanḓa ndi vhone vhane vha khou khwikhwidza this gun run. Khezila dzi gana dzashu vha khou koka tshigidi vha thuntsha ri tshe ro lindela vha muvhala wa blue na vhone vha thuntsha khezila zwino ndi yone home run inoni.
Jaanong ba o kitima re nyaka Mampudi wa fitlhileng pele ko khouning ya mafello ko ba thomileng ke yena motho o pa sefoka.
Ndi zwone team tsuku ke vhala vho kweya gani yavho vho kweya na limbo vha khou gidima ke vha vhafumakadzi vha re phanḓa vha khou khwikhwidza vho ḓiimisela vhukuma.
Wa winang wa fitlhang pele ko mafellong ke yena Mampudi ke yena motho o pa sefoka ha re ba bethele matsogo
Ka ba fiwa
go
zwanḓa
bonagala o
tsa
ka re
Tsuku
Team
ke bala.
Red has made it.
Fhedzi ri lindela malugwane a tshi sumbedza uri zwa vhukuma kuma ndi vhafhio.
Ene nako ya kgale e be e hoya ke dikgomo mo dikgomo di pallang ke go feta batho be ba take over gore ba thushe go yo thuntšha.
Ndi zwone tshifhinga tsha kale kezo robina Batsuku kevo vha khou
Team
lumelisa
Red,
team
let's
red
give them a round of
yo kunda
applause.
vho shuma zwavhuḓi nga maanḓa teamwork namusi vho vha safe.
O shumishana zwa vhukuma.
Zwanḓa zwi a farisana uri ri kone u fhenya ri kone u wina.
Ka sepedi re bobedi bo bolaganoga ga o le teo ka se kgone.
A ba nga se kone na luthihi.
A re ba bethele matsogo.
Ri khou livhuwa gun run.
E re ke re ndi khou humbela khombori la phangiti Jovito.
Jovito! Toyando, what a day it's been. Today you've witnessed teamwork at play. You've felt the power of unity in motion. From the thunder of boots on the parade to skill and confidence displayed in every demonstration. Our soldiers have shown you what service to the nation truly looks like. The men and women of the South African National Defence Force stand ready, not only to defend our borders, but to uplift our communities, to build bridges, to respond to disasters, and to shape the future of our country. You have seen the strength of our formations. You have heard the commitment in their voices. You have experienced the spirit of nation in uniform. And remember, this is not the end of the journey, ladies and gentlemen. Right adjacent this very stadium, the military career village awaits for those who feel the calling. If something stayed in your heart today, if you felt the spark of purpose, go and explore. Ask questions, take the forms, make that very first step. Because the uniform does not choose perfection, it chooses committed. Toyando, thank you for your energy. Thank you for welcoming us. Thank you for standing with your soldiers. Join us again tomorrow at 9 in the morning for another jam-packed, back-to-back, action-filled program. So from me, Miss Mia,
And the private ADS Vilagazi.
And Lance Corporal Chulo, aka Brother Martin Chosen.
We started the show with a bang and we are going to end it with a bang.
Harichi Arifa ba Betsim, overall in charge ke Major Motibane, Wailung Roto Bachia Shoti, ke Warrant Officer Class 1 Mahawane, Angere Mele, Bailung Roba sensitive to the noise, Hopela or Litiberizebe, Obalebo, it does not mean any harm. Retover in the Tevata or record the last sound, the last explosion. Ilegari Twala show Yari, and Hopela or Rosasa, Lescalebala, 9 o'clock, Riatoma. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,